Again, so this one is changing at a varied rate, and this one is a constant rate of change, okay? Anytime the change is constant, it's going up by 2, it's going up by 12, it's going up by a half, it's going down by 4, it's going down by a third. If it's going down the same over and over, that will make a line. If it's changing, not going down, then falls off. And that's a varied rate, and that makes it nonlinear. So what are we looking at for nonlinear? Varied change. And so varied, in some of these, you can have something that is going down and a decrease, and then it bends and turns into an increase. You can have things that grow very slow and then all of a sudden grow fast. You can have things that look like they're going to be a line, decreasing line, and then all of a sudden they hit a point and they become an increasing line. Those would all be varied rates of change. You can talk about increase and decrease within a line. You can talk about things being linear and nonlinear based on where they're at. Okay? We are going to focus a whole bunch starting Friday and then next Monday on linear. Okay? How we break out teaching this is by the end of 8th grade, you need to be an expert on linear. Because in Algebra 1, you use that knowledge to become an expert on nonlinear. We're going to talk about these two, and we're going to make sure we understand what's linear, what's not, but we're going to get in the nitty-gritty on linear this year. Like way down deep in the weeds, all kinds of answers and questions. You're going to do all of that next year in algebra about these kind of graphs. It's really hard to do these kind of graphs if you don't understand this kind of graph. Okay? So that will be our focus over the next couple of weeks. So what would it mean for a function to increase or decrease? These are both linear functions. Does everybody agree? An increasing linear function means time increases and the money increases. Both things are going up at the same time. Does that make sense? That's what you should be reading. When you look at a picture over the next 5 weeks and I ask you what's happening, what does this tell you? You can't just look at it and be like, oh, there's a line on there. You got to be able to tell me, hey, this says as time increases, my cost increases. Maybe I'm paying for something by the hour, and it's how long does it take them to shovel my driveway, to mow my grass? What?
Piano lessons.
Yeah, you're paying by the longer that you go each time. Oh, Siri thinks I'm talking to her.
Baseball lessons.
Right. As the time. If I do a 30-minute lesson, it's one thing. If I do a 50-minute lesson, if I keep track of how many hours of lessons I pay for my child, I would probably stress. Other things you can tell me. Does everybody see this number right here? This is a very important number. It is called the initial value. We are going to use initial value in our notes Friday and our notes every day next week. So when I start talking to you about initial value, that's where it starts. So we probably want to write initial value down. What does the initial value tell me in this first graph? At 0 hours, I'm still going to spend
$50.
$50. You might say, why am I spending $50 just? Well, if you've ever paid a membership to anything, it's like you pay to belong so that you can buy games cheaper. Or you pay to belong so you can go and spend more money at the place. Whatever the case is, this is a starting value. Tell me what's happening here. What does that mean?
The number of visits increase.
Well, these aren't visits, these are hours.
Oh,
We're doing this one. Oh, you were reading the next one, my bad.
Yeah, I thought you were.
Yeah, we're doing this point. What's this point tell me? Everybody in here should be able to tell me what this point's telling me, Jordan? At 2 hours, how much money have I spent at 2 hours? Does everybody get at 2 hours I've spent $100?
Yes.
Does everybody follow that? So if somebody said to you, how much are you spending an hour? There are people that would look at that and say, oh, you spent $50. Did I spend $50 in an hour?
No.
Now I know between these 2 points was 50, but that was really how much time? 2 hours. So how much is every hour? $25 an hour. This is called a unit rate. And that's something you will be finding a lot of over the next, whoa. Come on, okay, pick up the pencil. The unit, oh, this is really annoying. 20, God, I'm recording this so it can hear me deep sigh. Okay, let's try again. There we go. Let's try. Oh, there we go. $25 an hour is what we call the unit rate. You might get asked, what's the unit rate? And kids are always like, I don't know what that means. It means how much per one. And if you have a graph, even if there's no exact point at 125, because some kids will be like, well, I don't know where that is. Well, maybe it's half, maybe it's $31, or maybe it's $27. So go to some points you can use and calculate it. All right, let's move on to the next one. As the number of visits increases, the number of visits is going up. What's happening to my gift card? Right, I get a big gift card to Starbucks. Every time I go, they swipe my card. What's happening to the value on my card? It's going down because I'm spending money. How much was my gift card for? $50. How much am I spending at every visit? I am not spending $10 at every visit. Right? If I go from here to here, 50, and here I'm at 40, that is $10. But how many visits was that? 2. So it would be 10 over 2, not 10 over 1. Does that make sense? When you have to analyze, remember tonight's assignment is analyzing and interpreting graphs. Okay? Okay, keep going. All right, let's look at the bottom. Were you able to identify increasing intervals? And you're just going to name them by like 1, 2, 3. There's 7 intervals there. So 1 through 7 should be on these lines. If you did not get that done, do that now. Hopefully we all agree that unit 1 or segment 1 is doing what? Segment 1 is definitely increasing. So what other one is increasing besides 1? 4. Are they increasing the same? No. Which one would you think you're going faster? 1 or 4? 1. 1 is more steep. That means I'm going faster. Ladies, you need to pay attention and not be talking. If you have a question, ask. Which segments are decreasing? 3 and 6 and 7. Are they all decreasing at the same rate? No. Who is decreasing the slowest?
6.
7 is the slowest. Who is the fastest decrease? 6. Does that make sense? And what's happening at 2 and 5? Constant. Now, you are not going to have to do what I'm about to show you this way, but I want to show you an example of what you are going to be doing. So please look with me. Write a story. Now, if I tried to grade you all writing stories, that would take me forever. So I'm going to have you match stories, fill in stories, but here's an example of what a story would look like for this graph. Steve leaves the school and heads towards his friend's house on his bike. Tell me why Steve probably started here and not down here. He was where? At school, not at my house. Is his friend on the way home or farther away?
Farther away.
Farther away. Rode his bike, rode his bike, rode his bike, rode his bike. He stops at his friend's house and hangs out. Right? Hanging out there, not changing his distance. And then him and his friend decide they're going to go to the ice cream shop, which is on the way, bringing him closer to home. They get there and it's closed. So he's going to jog over to the gas station, which takes him farther away. Goes into the gas station, gets some snacks, and then he's like, oh, my mom's getting me mad, I better get home. Runs to the park where there are some sidewalks and starts walking back home. Did he make it home in this picture?
No.
No, he's on the way though. Does that make sense? Probably not. I'm not into that. But you are going to try to write a story for Christine. So on the back, Christine runs on a treadmill for 60 minutes. This graph shows Christine's speed during her run. Use the graph as a guide. Write the letter of each part of the story. There are three parts. Make sure you think about what is the domain and what is the range in this scenario. Go. What is the domain in this one? Remember, domain are the x values. Is the x values the time she's spending or the speed she's running? The time is the domain. What would be the range values in these? The range would be the speed. Hopefully we all agree that B would go right here on this segment where Christine is starting on her treadmill, warming up, gradually increasing her speed for 20 minutes. The next portion of this would be C, where she is running at a constant speed. Her speed's not changing. She gets to her set amount. She's going. And then the last segment would be where she is cooling down. Yay? Try the story, the car rider. You are only filling in where these dots are. So this says, my mom drove me to my best friend's house. That's this. You're trying to figure out what happened here. And what happened here. And here. And you're filling in the story. So we're like kind of writing a story together. Some kids are like, Ms. Kearns, there's no numbers on this. How do I know? Well, I know that she's driving here. And whatever this is, it's the highest speed possible. So I have 3 speeds in my options. Which one does that one have to be?
40.
It has to be 40 because it's the tallest part of the graph. We drove for about 5 minutes at 40 miles per hour. She slowed down. Typically when you're driving, you slow down to park or you slow down because you come to a stoplight. I know it has to be a stoplight because she continues on. We're not done. We sit there for a bit. And then we get the green light. And we drive for about 20 minutes. Oh, not 20 minutes. 3 minutes at 20 miles an hour, excuse me. Before she slows down to about 10 miles an hour for 2 minutes. And then she comes to a stop to park. No speed means you're sitting still. Is that making sense? How you match a story to events. Yay? Okay, on the next screen, I want to talk to you about 2 things. First of all, your assignment 36. Your assignment 36 has 2 parts. And this is when I like to start talking to my classes about